Uh, huh. Ah, greetings there. Didn't see you. Just kidding, I lied. Once again, we are back in this very little corner to share to you our second annual DM4Hire Incorporated press conference, live within the very department of DM4Hire Incorporated. Of course, where all of the magic happens, as they say. Now, for starters, we do have a lot to cover in this wonderful online press conference to viewers like you. And to start off, we have so many plans, from this remaining year to so much next year. It's a very exciting time here at DM4Hire Incorporated. For starters, this year alone has been a significant growth for DM4Hire Incorporated. Not only did we get to have our very first convention appearance at the Jacksonville Public Library back in March of 2024. We also got in to run a couple of more conventions this year with a grand total of 4 conventions that we at DM4Hire Incorporated ran games for attendees, fans, and tabletop enjoyers that delve into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. There's so many amazing things that we did this year. Sold so many dice to provide to players and aspiring dungeon masters, just as myself. And it's been significant. And I'm very proud of myself and the wonderful people who have helped me carry this brand forward as we go on to the year of 2025. It's still crazy to think that we are in this, great period of time for Dungeons and Dragons fans where this year Baldur's Gate 3 is now 1 year old. Been a big fan of it, as you can see right up here. Been loving the series, and there's so much I would love to talk about that, but we'll get to that. Now, of course, with last year, not only did we get to have our public appearances, as mentioned from last year's press conference, this year we also managed to get the first half season of Tales at the Table. Now, viewers and fans alike have asked, when are we getting new episodes of Tales at the Table? And to answer that clearly and confirming, in regards of Tales at the Table, it will unfortunately no longer be co-produced by No Moon Studios. However, we are very excited to have full control of Tales at the Table and carrying on with a brand new cast. That's right, brand new cast of players to hop on the series, and of course new dungeon masters to showcase their talents and showcase many different stories that can be interpreted from dungeon master to dungeon master, and of course being able to provide entertainment for, again, viewers like you. So season 1, or continuation of season 1, will return to the table in summer of 2025 when Tales at the Table does return to the table, no pun intended, to once again go through many adventures and of course fight many monsters that we may or may not encounter. Another question a while back as well, the comic series of The Terrible 3, which was revealed a week after our press conference. We had some concept art shown from the last physical appearance for DM4Hire Incorporated. Unfortunately, due to major delays, the comic series will once again be delayed to summer 2025. Unfortunately, we had a couple of struggles when it came to the comic itself, where right now, as we speak, we do have the manuscript for the first issue for The Terrible 3 and getting ready to contact illustrators to pretty much bring this wonderful series of ragtag troublemakers to the page. And hopefully soon we'll be able to provide that story for The Terrible 3 and many more that'll making their debut in the comic series next summer of 2025. So looking forward to seeing these guys in action and seeing what types of trouble they're gonna get into. Oh boy. Then of course, as mentioned before, we did have a bunch of series planned to provide viewers with a lot of content here on YouTube, but with behind the scenes stuff, we decided that for this year, we wanted to really focus on being able to provide and grow experience with vendoring at public events, to be able to grow as a brand where people do recognize DM4Hire, not just on YouTube, but at the convention centers and alongside more online appearances, which, as some of you noticed, not only do we have an Instagram and a YouTube, we also have Facebook. So of course, you can always reach out to DM4Hire Incorporated on all 3 of these platforms. Of course, this year though, coming up with 2025 itself and the remainder of 2024, we have decided that we are really going to push to bring video essays and more content to the YouTube channel, and definitely experiment with going over many topics, whether it be lore videos or DM tutorials, and sharing many different aspects and topics of Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, or Marvel Multiverse RPG, which I've been really into and been playing it almost every Tuesday night with a pretty solid group of players and of course a DM on that of Roll20. Speaking of Roll20 as well, currently we are now in the development to start running games online. In late 2025, we are going to be starting to run games online for Roll20. And on Instagram and Facebook, we'll be providing updates and any confirmations on Dungeon Masters and the process of completing a full guide to pretty much be able to have people hire Dungeon Masters for their weekly games of whether it be Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, Cult of Cthulhu, and many other games that pretty much people enjoy. We're also going to be starting providing not just dice, but also merch. That's right. We are going to be making merch for our brand new wave of t-shirts and clothing. Everything from our very logo of DM4Hire Incorporated. Another illustration of a ghostly DM painting a mini, which you'll find out later. We also have a lovely map of which way. Of course, never go wrong with having a map that you can wear on the go. And also, we'll be having merch for our related series here on DM4Hire Incorporated. Of course, talking about our t-shirt for The Terrible 3, based off of the first comic cover that we've already had produced and revealed, showcasing our new series coming out very soon. But also merch for Tales of the Table, involving the first cast of adventurers that you, as the listener and viewer, got to meet for the very first time when we brought Tales of the Table to, well, the table. It's pretty exciting stuff. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, you might be wondering, where is that from? With a very successful investigation check, we're proud to confirm that by next year, February of 2025, we as DM4Hire Incorporated are going to be providing miniature commissions under a subsection of DM4Hire called the Miniature Gallery. Now, the Miniature Gallery provides painted miniatures for players and dungeon masters to use for collecting or to play simple games of Dungeons and Dragons. I've been really getting into painting a lot, so I'll be the main provider of painting miniatures, and of course commission prices are going to vary as of right now, but by February 2025, that's when we're going to be officially bringing ourselves out and marketing our very own commissions to provide painted miniatures for folks like you. And not only that, we also got a big event coming up next month. As I mentioned earlier, not only can you get some amazing t-shirts and some painted minis as well, we are also going to be partaking in the biggest market that DM4Hire has been a part of. Of course, talking about the Games, Art, and Music Nerd Market, a free charity market to provide not only vendors, but for many up-and-coming artists to provide their, items to sell, and of course, provide a sense of community that within our lovely city of Jacksonville, which is where we, DM4Hire, is based in. Not only that, we're also going to be selling our dice, and if timed right, we'll also be selling some exclusive shirts early. That's right, our shirts, as I showcased earlier, we'll be officially selling those in January of 2025. And not only that, we'll also be having early access. So for those who want to go to the nerd market and get our lovely t-shirts early, that's your chance to purchase and to help a local independent brand that provides the fun and joy and of course adventure to the world of tabletop gaming. And not only that, to cap off this wonderful press conference and the amount of stuff we have already shared, from not only more news about Tales of the Table, a little update on our comic series, promising more videos, which by 2025, that's really going to be a big focus for next year. And I'm already looking forward to so many topics that I want to share with anyone, from Dungeons and Dragons fans, Pathfinder fans, the classic tabletop RPG, for anyone to listen to and to also share opinions. Like, what's your favorite? This is my favorite. It's an exciting time. And not only that, also providing amazing t-shirts, because as most people may know, I love my graphic designs on t-shirts, and it's a way of expressing oneself when it comes to that. And of course, painting miniatures, which, to showcase one of them, a little early sneak peek, we have ourselves a little ogre ready to smash or even eat the bones off of your local adventurers. And of course, the nerd market coming up next month, very exciting stuff. But to cap it off and to really put the feather in the cap, oh my gosh, last year, as some of our viewers and our guest attendees from last year's press conference, we officially revealed the RPG in development under DM4Hire Incorporated, which went under the code name of Project Dice. Now, as we're doing wonderful in our development for this Project Dice, we are proud to announce the official title for Project Dice. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, not only do you guys get to experience being able to go to vast worlds and experience cultures and using that to your advantage. Now, of course, that's all I'm going to say right now. There's a lot more amazing stuff that I'd love to share about Odyssey RPG, but with that said, this right here is where we close off tonight's session. And I want to thank everyone for joining and watching today's video. And again, it's been an amazing experience, an amazing gift to be able to provide for fans of Dungeons and Dragons, and to be able to provide joy to so many players, to so many people that without this hobby, I don't know where I would be by now. And the amount of amazing people that I've got to befriend thanks to Dungeons and Dragons it's truly a blessing in disguise. And I'm not just talking about the spell bless, but just a once in a lifetime experience to be able to not only have a big community such as the Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder community, but to be part of something bigger than expected. And I'm glad I'm able to share this on an online format for not just myself and many friends alike, but for viewers like you. And with that, thank you all for joining today's second annual press conference. And we want to thank everyone again for joining and for supporting DM4Hire Incorporated as we continue on through year 2. And hopefully by year 3, we're going to have amazing stuff that we're going to be able to provide, not just for RPG fans, but for people to have new hobbies and grow as a person, and overall, and most importantly, have fun. And with all that said and done, I do bid you all farewell, and of course, keep on adventuring.